Oh, happy Saturday, vinyl community people. So we had some rain overnight like we always do on Friday around here, and this morning it stopped a bit in between. So in between showers, and that is, and so Patty and I got out for a run on the rail trail. There's a really nice rail trail near our house. It's nice and flat, no big hills to climb, so it was kind of relaxing. And yeah, the clouds have moved back in, and there's more rain coming later this afternoon. So it looks like we're inside for the duration here. So yeah, last weekend I did a September 2023 finds, a lot of stuff. So too much to show in that one video. So call this one a sequel, part two. I'm gonna round things out for September, the month that was. Yeah, because we're right into October now, of course. So anyway, yeah, I hope you had a chance to catch that great karaoke that I just posted. I was inspired by that Chris Brophy thread that I just did. Showcase your first heavy metal album that you bought, you know, in your youth, whatever. So of course mine was Judas Priest, British Steel, and you know, from that album rather, the track Breaking the Law, right? I'm not going to sing it for you. You got to go over and watch that 1 minute clip. That one way, someone that was at the party took that clip at my 50th 5 years ago. Wow, what a bash that was, complete with keg stands. Anyway, it was fun, and I'm 5 years older, so what are you going to do? So anyway, I'm not singing today. I'm talking about these records. So yeah, I've got 10 or so here. The sequel to my September 2023 finds. So yeah, so here, I've had a lot of Dave Mason lately, including Headkeeper that I just got from JT's Record Room, a generous VCLT that I just got the other day. I've yet to listen to Headkeeper. I was listening to this still last night because this one was fairly new to me. This is Dave Mason's fourth studio release from 1973. I really like it a lot. I really like this gatefold. I think that's hilarious. His guitar is having a smoke. Look, smoking guitar, right? The guitar said it was trying to quit, but it just had to keep smoking. Don't know if the guitar is still smoking these days, but it was smoking here, right, with Dave, right? So anyway, yeah, so Dave Mason, It's Like You Never Left, 1973. It's got a lot of great moments on this. He's a terrific songwriter, excellent guitarist, had it all going on. Was in Traffic briefly, the first album, and then he was on an album called Welcome to the Canteen, where they reunited in the early 70s. He was on that one as well. But he's still going, Dave Mason, still performing. So yeah, on this one, some highlights. If You've Got Love was a single from this. Of course, the title track, It's Like You Never Left. And there's an instrumental on here. It is called Sidetrack. That is really groovy. Look up that track. Sidetrack. The track Sidetrack. Dave Mason, and It's Like You Never Left. 1973. Really good. We're going to be all over the place like I do. This is ZZ Top. So at the time this came out, I was in high school, probably, I don't know, 10th grade. The videos for this were huge. So they kind of reinvented themselves, these guys. So, of course, from Texas. They'd been around already. This is like their, what album is this? This is their 8th studio album. Again, from the year on this one, 1983. Yeah, Warner Brothers. So yeah, if were my age, the MTV generation, of course, I was living in Canada. We had Much Music, the equivalent. ZZ Top, I thought they were a new band. I didn't even know they had stuff before Eliminator at the time. So of course the video for Legs is legendary. If you've never seen that for some reason, please look it up. You won't be disappointed. And they do have legs, believe me. Not ZZ Top, the chicks in the video. Give Me All Your Lovin' was another big one on this. And yeah, of course, the videos all featured this car that's on the front, the Eliminator. There's the ZZ Top car. Yeah, right there. I was at the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame in Cleveland, and I saw the ZZ Top car. That was a long time ago, probably around 1999. 2000. I went 2 years in a row down to Cleveland because I had a nephew that was living there for a while with his work. And yeah, so Dusty Hill, no longer with us, bass player and vocals, backup vocals, side vocals, whatever you want to call it. He passed a year or two ago. But the band, I think, is still going to continue, as far as I know. Frank Beard on drums and Billy Gibbons on lead guitar and vocals. And another track on this called Thug. That's probably one of my favorites on this album. And TV Dinners is another good one too. They actually, I think, had a video for TV Dinners too, but it grooves. I mean, this is one of those, like that thread that was going around, songs you've heard a million times, but you still like it. like Legs, Give Me All Your Love, and those are classic rock FM radio staples. But when I hear it, I don't know, I still like both of those hits, and they were huge hits. ZZ Top, Eliminator. And this, again, I mentioned in part one of this, September 2023 finds. My local shop here, I came into some great collection stuff near mint, and this is one of them. $5. I mean, come on, it's brand new, barely been played. I'm sure of it. Got this at a record show recently that I attended. This is the show I went to up in Peabody, Mass. It's Eddie Grant. This is his 1984 release. Yeah, it's good. This was the follow-up to, geez, what was the other one? The one that came right before this. Oh, boom, boom, boom. Hold on a second here. I got it. I get sidetracked, and I gotta show it. Where is it here? Yeah, here it is. Right here. Follow up here to Killer on the Rampage. Yes, and this one is called Going for Broke. Yeah, Going for Broke. Not in my mind, it's not as good a record as Killer on the Rampage, but it does have some moments. Gets a little synthy because this was the 80s, and of course this was the year 1984, right? There's Eddie. He's just hanging out on the beach in a tree. Of course, he was originally from Jamaica. So this is like pop reggae. Certainly not like I call UB40 pop reggae. This is a little more synthy. This particular album, but it does have some great moments. Romancing the Stone is a really good song. Political Bossa Bossa, that's a good one. There's Eddie, just some shots of him like on the beach and his guitar. Yeah, I really enjoy Eddie Grant. Some people would call it tripe, but I call it good. Yeah, and he's going for broke on this one right here. Eddie Grant. All right. I've mentioned Bronski Beat before. In fact, I just think I showed a 12-inch single when I did a thing a couple weeks ago, and I might have showed, yeah, it was the 12-inch single for Why. So this is one of those. I've been lately on a bit of a buying binge for some 80s stuff that I had and then I didn't have. So as I've said repeatedly, you know, you lend records to people that you don't get them back when you're younger, and this was one of them. I had a copy on cassette that I'd recorded from a friend too, and all my cassettes are gone. They melted in the garage when we lived in California. Sad story that was, but I was never one to buy pre-recorded cassettes. Friends, we would exchange records. I'd tape it, and you'd pirate you used to call it pirate taping or whatever. You just record the album from a friend's album. Blah, I'm just rambling here. But anyway, of course, this was on London. This is their debut. They think they did one more with Jimmy Somerville, the vocalist. There's a nice collage on the inside. And then he went off to form the Communards. There's Jimmy Somerville right there, lead singer right there. And this is just a collage of photos. I believe they were a three-piece. And yeah, it's funny. It's a fun album. There's a lot of dancey stuff on here. But yeah, he went off and did the Communards for whatever reason. And now he's still doing like festivals in England in the summertime, Jimmy Somerville solo. And of course, again, this is the debut, Age of Consent, 1984. All right, and here we're moving up to, back to 1983. This is the follow-up to Tattoo You. Of course, it's the Rolling Stones. Of course, they're in the limelight again with the new album that they just came out with. The name escapes me. The single I do know is called Angry, and it's a really good video for that one. You should look that up. I've only heard that new single. I haven't heard the rest of it, but I must, because I'm a big Stones fan. This is probably my 18th or 19th Stones album in my collection. So this is Undercover. It's a little bit all over the place in musical styles on this one. More traditional Stones is the single from this. She Was Hot. That's a really good tune. Too Much Blood's good too. All the Way Down. I mean, it's a Stones album all the way through and through. I don't need to sell it to you. There's the guys right there. Very interesting cover art on that, right? Almost looks like a ransom note at points. I don't know what the apples were all about on the inside. And there's just some credits right there. Nothing really great to see there. Nothing to see here, as the saying goes. So that's the Stones, Undercover, 1983. All right. Still staying in the 80s here. 1986. Yes, from Austin, Texas. Fabulous Thunderbirds. I've been on a kick with these guys. I knew these guys from way back, but I just didn't have any other stuff. And I'm a big blues hound. So this is more commercial blues. It's not real down and dirty. It's barroom blues like George Thorogood, but it's really good. I like it. Jimmy Vaughn, lead guitar player right there. He's long gone. The lead vocalist, Kim Wilson. This is kind of a, like, what's the band, the collective I'm thinking of? Never mind. But this is kind of, the Fabulous Thunderbirds kind of turned into, Room Full of Blues is the band I'm thinking of, with people coming and going, different personnel year to year. That's what they've now become, because only frontman and lead vocalist Kim Wilson remains. The rest are all just sidemen coming and going. Jimmy Vaughn's long gone from this scene here. But this was their fourth album, 1980. Oh, their fifth from 1986. And yeah, there's Kim Wilson right there, down there, the lead singer. So some of the tracks on this, Tough Enough, that's a really good one. Of course, that's the title track. Wrap It Up was another single from this that charted. And there's a great tune on this called Down at Antone's. Antone's was a famous club in Austin, Texas, where these guys played a lot. So don't know if Antone's is still in existence. I have another, I'm trying to think of the name of the band that was recorded. I have a live album from this club, but I can't think of the name. I'm just drawing blanks all over the place today. But anyway, it's the fabulous T-Birds. Tough Enough right there. Are you tough enough, right? Okay, so yeah. Mark Allman, these two guys, John Mark and John Allman, these are just their surnames. Don't get this confused with Mark Allman, spelled M-A-R-C. That's the synth pop outfit from the 80s from the UK. This is not that. So this, I've shown Mark Allman before. Two guys played in John Mayall and the Blues Breakers, and then they went out on their own. So John Mark on lead vocals, Johnny Almond on saxophone. Well, he plays a number of instruments, flute, saxophone, you name it. This album was a new lineup for them in 1973. This was the fourth release, and it's one side of it is actually live and one side is studio. I prefer the live side. It's the tracks are much better, and they're all new. Get Yourself Together, What Am I Living For, and The Neighborhood Man plays just really great through. I would call these guys a real thinking man's Steely Dan. I'm not a big Steely Dan guy, but these guys are in that same vein. Almost a little more jazzy rock, jazzy rock, whatever you want to call it, but certainly mellow. But the live stuff on this is actually the fastest tempo I've ever heard of Mark Allman songs, and I'm really liking this. So whenever I see anything by these guys, I grab it. And this, look at the shape of this, it's just in perfect condition. And this again was a $5 record I got at that show, and it's 73 by Mark Allman. Really good, really enjoy that. All right, yeah. Look at that. You're going to have nightmares about that cover. Look at it. It's George Jones. Yes. The Possum. So anyway, this was his first album after his divorce from Tam Tam. This is from 1975, 76, 77 actually. Yeah, right there. So this on the back, it's like one of those, like a kid thing you'd fold like a toy to make the tour bus. That's what it's supposed to look like. And there's George, of course, on the front of the tour bus. So anyway, this album, they'd done Golden Ring, which was a duet album, and they'd recorded that. They were already divorced and recorded that duet album together in 75. Of course, this one again from 1977, and it's called I Want to Sing. All right, you can see the title right there. He just wants to sing. So, you know, he was already had a huge alcohol problem, but then he really tuned it up a notch when he got divorced from Tammy Wynette. Went on a bender for several years, right into the 80s until he found Jesus, and then he got religion and got off the bottle, straightened himself out somehow, some way. It's a miracle because he was a total train wreck, a bus wreck even, you could say here. But I'm going to include a link in the description below to an animated series, to an episode. It's a funny 5-minute episode from Tales from the Tour Bus. The guy Mike Judge that was the artist and cartoon guy for Beavis and Butthead, if you know that series from the 90s. So it's really funny. Click on that link and you'll have a good laugh. It's I think it's episode 3. He does Tales from the Tour Bus. Each season is like 8 or 9 short episodes. There's one on Rick James. There's one on George Jones, among others. Really funny stuff. So again, don't forget to go to the description and I'll include that link, and I'm sure you'll have a laugh with that. But some of the moments on here is a really good drink and party album. It's great. It's amazing he kept himself together in the studio to do this. But in live, he was known as No Show Jones because he was notoriously late or he just wouldn't show up. Very punk rock of him for a country star. Please don't sell me any more whiskey tonight. I love you so much it hurts. Rest in peace, old King Kong. And let's get Jesus on the line. That might have been a precursor for what was to come in his Born Again days in the 80s. So it's George Jones. I Want to Sing. He just wants to sing, right? All right, and still in the country and western vein, yes. This one's for you, Randy Nelson. I know he's a fan. Go over and check out Randall Nelson's channel. He's also a Jerry Lee Lewis enthusiast in the vinyl community. So this is Who's Gonna Play This Old Piano. This is from 1972. Of course, Jerry Lee Lewis was knee deep in the country music stylings at this point and was done with rock and roll. That's okay, because he's a great country and western singer, and you can see the cool Mercury logo on that one. So this has borderlines on a bit of ragtime even on this, on the title track. Who's Gonna Play This Old Piano? Too Many Rivers. Think About It, Darling. Bottom Dollar, that's another good one. And No Traffic out of Abilene, that's a good one too. So that's Jerry Lee Lewis, Who's Gonna Play This Old Piano. And there he is, just resting, hanging out in the field with it. It's a nice hat. I'll go for a hat like that. All right, and lastly, yes, my obsession with Steve Winwood's solo albums continues. This one's from 1988. This is his 5th solo release. And yeah, so this one's called Roll With It. Title track was a huge hit. You've heard it a million times. But there's also some moments on here that weren't big singles. Oh, sorry, I flipped it. So this, you got Stevie here, like there he is with his cool leather jacket. And then you flip it over and there's the bottom of Stevie right there, the bottom of the leather jacket. So I just got to read these tracks here. So yeah, The Morning Side's a really nice one on here. Don't You Know What the Night Can Do? That's another one that was a big single on this. And One More Morning is good. The production is flawless on this. From his Arc of a Diver, his second studio album that was his breakthrough. Well, we call it a breakthrough, but for his solo career, because his debut was a dud. And then he did Arc of a Diver. And then he was on a roll after that, right through the 80s. Just super polished, great songwriter, great singer. Yeah, is it totally commercial in some ways? Yeah, but I mean, it is what it is. And in my mind, he's terrific. He's a perfectionist in the studio, and it shows. So that's the end of that. So that's going to be my part 2, September 2023 finds. I hope you enjoyed that. And yeah, I'm going to another show. I got to mention this. This is a show I'm going to. There you can see all the details. So this is at the Ramada Hotel down in Seekonk, Mass. That's down toward Rhode Island from where I live. A 45-minute, 1-hour car ride. Zip down there that Sunday. That's a week from tomorrow. So any vinyl community people in the Massachusetts, New England area, I'm going to be going down there. I'll probably be down there around 10:30. And I usually hang at the show for 2 or 3 hours and then I'm out. But yeah, the last show I went to was okay in Peabody, but I'm hoping for better things at this one. I've never been to this show before. And yeah, so there it is. It's Dr. Oldie Presents Rock and Roll Collectors Convention. So yeah, be there or be square, right? Square, Daddy-o. All right, I will see you next time.